Fair use. Daily Reflections. This is a book of AA reflections by AA members for AA members. May 15th. No God, no peace. It is plain that a life which includes deep resentment leads only to futility and unhappiness. But with the alcoholic, whose hope is the maintenance and growth of a spiritual experience, this business of resentment is infinitely grave. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 66. No God, no peace. No God, no peace. Courage to Change One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, May 15th. When I first came to Al-Anon, I was leery about all the hugs I saw exchanged. I would scurry out the door after a meeting to avoid them. I couldn't imagine why all those seemingly respectable people were behaving this way. There had been no such displays of affection in my childhood, and none in my adult home either. The only kinds of touch I knew were negative. The people in Al-Anon were patient with me, even though I refused their hugs. They invited me to keep coming back. They respected my boundaries and didn't judge or question my need for space. Individual members sat with me as I cried and rejoiced when I laughed. Complete strangers offered their experience, strength, and hope to me as if I were an intimate friend. In this safe and nurturing atmosphere, I have come to appreciate that there are many different expressions of unconditional love. Whether or not I express affection in a physical way, I can find reassurance, comfort, and strength whenever Al-Anon members offer me their support. Today I am finding ways to express my love for others as well. Today's reminder: I will not let old fears keep me away from the support that is available to me. I am worthy of love and respect. There is a quote by Simone Weil, and it reads, "Love is not consolation, it is light." Just for today, Meditations for Recovering Addicts, May 15th. Fear of the fourth step. As we approach this step, most of us are afraid that there is a monster inside of us that, if released, will destroy us. Basic text, page 27. Most of us are terrified to look at ourselves, to probe our insides. We're afraid that if we examine our actions and motives, we'll find a bottomless black pit of selfishness and hatred. But as we take the fourth step, we'll find that those fears were unwarranted. We're human, just like everyone else, no more, no less. We all have personality traits that we're not especially proud of. On a bad day, we may think that our faults are worse than anyone else's. We'll have moments of self-doubt. We'll question our motives. We may even question our very existence. But if we could read the minds of our fellow members, we'd find the same struggles. We're no better or worse than anyone else. We can only change what we acknowledge and understand. Rather than continuing to fear what's buried inside us, we can bring it out into the open. We'll no longer be frightened, and our recovery will flourish in the full light of self-awareness. Just for today, I fear what I don't know. I will expose my fears and allow them to vanish. Today, Emotions Anonymous, May 15th. Reflection for today. Sometimes people tend to try and control others for their own needs. Even though I fell into the receiving end of this most of my life, I now have a choice in the matter. I can refuse to be controlled by others if I do what is right for me without fear of repercussions or verbal abuse. I am stronger now, and my courage to speak up on matters of principle comes from my higher power. I will not turn down this gift of courage because of fear of what others might think, say, or do in retaliation. Meditation for today. May I realize that what others do or say is not necessarily an honest judgment of me as a person. Even if they meant it as such, I need only answer to you. Today I will remember, I do not have to let others control me. I have the 12 steps to use as my guide, not the judgments of others. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics' dysfunctional families. May 15th. Promise 5. As we face our abandonment issues, we will be attracted by strengths and become more tolerant of weaknesses. BRB, page 591. Being left without a means of finding our way back is the essence of our abandonment. As a child in an alcoholic or dysfunctional family, we were required to leave our true selves behind. Our false selves took the lead so that we could try to avoid the inevitable pain and disappointment. This gave us a long-lasting impression that anyone we cared about would leave us too. Drawn to people who also want to recreate the abandonment drama, our lives seem to be an endless loop of attraction, distraction, and abandonment. We face our abandonment with the tools of recovery. The challenging 12-step work we do brings with it an ability to find our way back. Able to realize our powerlessness, our thorough inventory reveals the source of our disconnection from our true selves. In our meetings, we learn to nurture our inner child by understanding the role of our inner loving parent. We make better choices and see that the strengths and weaknesses folks have are but an expression of their humanness. We can decide to whom we will be attracted. The affirmation reads, on this day, I will use the tools of recovery, meetings, telephone calls, and fellow travelers to face my